Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin and it's Book Review Friday and I'm very excited. I cannot see because my bangs are in the way. Okay, hello. Yes, so it is Book Review Friday and I have a new book for you guys, and it is Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill. Now, I've never read anything by Joe Hill. I actually found this in a bookstore here called Powell's. It's like a secondhand kind of bookstore. And I picked it up, I read the back, and I thought it sounded pretty interesting, so I decided to buy it. And I have a lot of feelings about this book. It's very... it's interesting. So, what's this called? The cover of this book is pretty, I don't know, it's nothing amazing, I would say. It's like a road with some trees and like, it's kind of gray and like creepy looking, I guess. I actually really like it because I like the trees and the scenery. It reminds me here of Oregon, which is kind of funny, but yeah, so the cover is nothing, you know, outstanding or anything amazing. It's pretty typical. So let's talk about the plot. Let me read it to you. Aging death metal rock legend Judas Coyne is a collector of the macabre, a cookbook for cannibals, a used hangman's noose, a snuff film. But nothing he possesses is as unique or as dreadful as his latest purchase off the internet, a one-of-a-kind curiosity that arrives at his doors in a black heart-shaped box. A musty dead man's suit still inhabited by the spirit of its late owner. And now everywhere Judas Coyne goes, the old man is there, watching, waiting, dangling a razor blade on a chain from his bony hand. So, let's start. Okay, so this is about Judas Coyne. He is a death metal rock star. He's 54, I believe, so he is older. He's not like really performing that much anymore. He's making new songs, but he's not really like putting them out there. He's more just like making them and like, you know, living off his money. Like, he's got a ton, so he's like good to go. And he sleeps with a lot of women, which, I mean, I guess if you're a rock star, it's not that weird. He has this weird thing where he calls them by the state that they're from originally. So most of the girls he dates are like girls that came to the city and are trying to get away from their old life. So the girl presently in the book, her name is Georgia. Even though her name is really Mary Beth, he calls her Georgia because she's from Georgia. See what I'm saying? And they're all like goth girls. Like, they're like, we're like strippers and stuff like that, who dress like they don't get any tan on their skin. They have piercings, they wear black, like, because he also does the same thing. He wears a lot of black. That's like his image. He's death metal, you know. So it starts out with him, and I don't know. I have a lot of feelings about this book because when I first started reading it, I didn't like this book. I actually kind of hated it because he's really annoying. He's not really a nice guy. He's very closed off. He's very just like whatever about it. And so it starts off with him talking to his manager, and his manager tells him, hey, I found this cool thing on the internet. It's this woman selling a ghost. And he reads the thing, and it's this woman saying that like her stepfather had, or grandfather or something like that, had died, and they didn't bury him in the suit that he wanted, so now he's like haunting the house. So she was like, I'm selling it. So he was like, oh, I want it, because he collects stuff like this. Obviously, he has a cookbook for cannibals, he's got a hangman's noose, he's got snuff films. I mean, he likes this kinds of stuff. Like, this is his thing. So he buys it, and he gets a like box, like a heart-shaped box, like a black heart-shaped box, and inside is the old man's suit. And he's like, okay, whatever, like, cool, like, we'll see if this actually like works, kind of thing. And then he starts seeing the old man, and it's weird because he's like, well, this is actually like real, like, that's kind of cool, like, whatever. And then the old man actually tries to like attack them. Like he's trying to like kill him. And he's weirded out. His girlfriend or sex buddy, whatever you want to call them, is freaked out as well, and she believes him. She's obviously feeling weird things as well, and so she believes him. She's like 23, by the way, so she's like way younger than him. I think all the girls he dates are way younger than him. So he calls the number that was provided from the seller, and he calls her and he's like, hello, like what's going on, whatever. And she's like, I was hoping you'd buy it. And it turns out that she's the sister of a girl that he dated. Her name is Florida because she's from Florida. And she was Florida's sister. And she says she killed herself because of you. And the story is basically that Florida was his girlfriend previously, and she has really bad depression, and he got to the point where he could not help her anymore, so he sent her home because she wasn't benefiting from being with him. So he sent her back home, and she committed suicide. And the sister said that man is their stepfather, and they were all involved in the occult. Like they knew how to read palms, and they were like mediums, I guess, and stuff like that. And the stepfather knew how to make himself come back from the dead, I guess, and like haunt him. So they did it after Florida committed suicide, and now he's stuck with him because he has to suffer for what he did to Florida. And so that's basically the premise. They have to get rid of this ghost, okay, for something that he did to Florida. And I will say, when I started this book, I was like, what the heck? This is ridiculous. Like, I didn't like the main characters, Georgia and Judas. Didn't like them. I was just like, whatever. Like, it was getting really boring. And then dogs came into play. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but there are dogs involved. And I was very, very excited because I'm a very big dog fan. And I love when dogs are incorporated into books or movies or anything because I'm obsessed with dogs. And the dogs are so cool in this book, but I will preface that if you don't do well with the death of animals, you probably shouldn't read this book. I mean, it's not a lot. It's not like really gruesome and graphic, but it does tell you how dogs die, and I was really sensitive to it. I almost cried. It was really sad. I don't like dogs dying. So if you are sensitive to that, if you know it's gonna come and you still want to read the book, I would be careful just because it is pretty, like, it's pretty sad. So that happened. I was very excited about the dogs. And then there was a huge plot twist in the story because it's not all it seems with the ghost and the family. And the whole situation between Florida, her sister, and the stepfather is very different from what it was being portrayed in the beginning. And it was very exciting for me because I loved the plot twist that they gave. And I was very excited. And the book actually picks up really fast after everything starts going down with the ghost and the dogs come in and everything like that. It starts picking up way more than it did, and I really liked that. And then the ending. So while I was reading it, I thought the ending, like as I was reading the ending, I thought it was gonna end badly. So I was really upset. Like I was devastated because I was invested in these characters after I didn't like them in the beginning. I became invested and I thought it was gonna end really badly, but then something happens and it ends so good and I was so excited. This is one of the best horror book endings I've seen because honestly, most horror books end really like or they end bad. Most of them don't end good, so I was very excited by this ending. Honestly, the ending made me so happy because I didn't want it to end badly and it didn't, which makes me really excited. And I actually really liked the ending. I thought it was really good. So yeah, I don't have too much to say about this book because there's a lot of intertwining stories and things that you think are how it seems and then it's not how it seems, but I don't want to give too much away because I want you guys to find out on your own if you do read this book. So yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised because when I started it, I was like, I'll finish it. And I was really expecting to give this book a bad review today, but luckily it's getting a good review from me. So I'm very excited. So I actually think a lot of people would probably enjoy this. It's not as scary as a lot of other horror books. This is more of like a thriller horror to me. It's not very like terrifying. It's more like a mystery thriller in my opinion. Well, I mean it is horror because it's like paranormal, and like supernatural and stuff like that. But honestly, I really liked it. I think a lot of people would really like this book because it's not as scary as a lot of the other, or gruesome as a lot of the other horror books that I've reviewed here on my channel. So yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised and happy to give this book a thumbs up in my opinion. I'm very happy. So yeah, let me know down below if you have read this book, if you liked this book, if you hated this book, if you like more by Joe Hill, recommend them please. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you in my next video. Bye!